Welcome to the Winter 2012 edition of Recreation Television, your source for recreation programs provided by Roanoke County Parks, Recreation and Tourism. I'm standing on one of the newest additions to our parks right now, a new bridge over Mudlick Stream in Garce Mill Park. This is just one of two exciting new park upgrades that we'll tell you about on today's show. Now, just because it's cold outside this winter, that doesn't mean you should stay in the house. We'll show you some ways to keep active by walking in a park or participating in a class at either Brambleton Center or Green Ridge Recreation Center. This program highlights a few exciting activities from our wonderful winter lineup of programs. Now, it's cold outside, but here's one place that'll warm you up this winter, inside a cave where it's 60 degrees year-round. It is in rock formations like the one right behind us throughout Southwest Virginia that you find caves, and we're very blessed to have an abundance of cave opportunities in this area. And Charlie, Roanoke County is excited to be offering caving once again for the first time in several years.
That's right, yeah. Recently there was a bat blight called the white nose syndrome, which kind of kept us out of caves, but now that we understand more about it, we have access and we're going back underground, and I have 2 trips coming up this winter.
Well, tell us a little bit about the history that people couldn't go in caves because they were afraid of hurting the bats?
Correct. The bats were dying from a fungus that was being transferred from cave to cave by the people going in and out of the caves. So by letting people not go in the caves, they're able to study it and understand more. And now we're just having to sanitize and clean our gear between caves.
And so really for the first time in several years, we're offering caving, which had been a very popular program for us.
Oh yeah, it's always been popular. It's one of my favorite ones to do. That's why we're going to offer 2 this winter.
2 caving opportunities. Now tell us, when you go in a cave, what should you expect if you're signing up for this program? Do you have to have any prerequisite abilities first?
Well, first you should expect to get dirty.
Okay. So I shouldn't be wearing this jacket,
No,
right?
no, you probably wouldn't want to wear that jacket. Wearing sturdy shoes. You know, even though it's a beginner level caving trip, you do need to be fairly physically able to crawl around. There are some tight squeezes. So you need to be a fairly healthy and active person to go caving.
Okay, and once they're going in, what do you expect? Do you go in with a flashlight? What kind of gear do you require to go in?
Excellent. They actually go in with a helmet. Everyone gets a helmet and a headlamp.
Provided by Camp Roanoke
Yes,
staff?
Camp Roanoke does provide all of the necessary gear you need. You have to wear and bring your own clothes. But we give you a helmet and headlamp so you can be hands-free, so you can be able to control your body. A lot of time in caving, you use all your points in contact. You use your hands and feet most of the time to get around.
And how does this work exactly?
Oh, it actually has a button underneath that turns it on and off. It's very easy to use. Yes, sir.
And that's a little scary for me. I'm going into a dark environment and all I have is a flashlight. I know my battery on my flashlight always dies. Should a caver be worried about the life of the battery?
Well, that's an excellent point. As leading the cave trip, I always have extra batteries, extra headlamps, and always extra gear with me. As a rule, when we go caving, every person should have 3 sources of lights, just in case. So I provide all of that.
So not your first time in a cave. What are some things that people are often surprised about the first time they go in a cave?
How dark it is. There's a complete absence of light. I know it sounds silly, but you know, there's a complete absence of light once you get deep into the cave, and it's always a surprise and a cool thing to experience.
Now, if this is your first time signing up for a cave trip, is there anything that they should keep in mind before they come?
You know, they should just keep in mind that it's cooler underground than it is during the summertime, but it's warmer than in the wintertime. It has an average temperature of around 55 degrees, so we want to dress appropriately for that climate.
So this is really the best time of year to go caving. It's cold outside, you warm up a little bit in the cave, and you get an experienced guide in the staff at Camp Roanoke, operated by Roanoke County Parks. If you want to find out more, visit us online at www.roanokecountyparks.com and sign up for a caving trip. We're excited to be bringing back our caving program for the first time in several years. Be sure to wear clothes that you can get dirty. Now, another messy program that'll have you covered in clay, our new Hand Building with Clay program at the Brambleton Center. Now, you may already know about our fantastic pottery studio with 13 electric wheels. Instructor Becky Carr shows you how to let your creativity shine with just your bare hands. We're here in the Pottery Studio at the Brambleton Center, where I'm joined by Becky Carr, a new instructor for us here, who teaches a hand building with clay program. And Becky, you got your start here at the Brambleton Center 5 years ago, right?
That's right, Scott. We moved here 5 years ago, and I had never done pottery in my entire life, and my daughter got me a gift certificate for Christmas for a pottery lesson, and I started then and have been doing it ever since.
And 5 years later, who would have thought that you'd be an instructor?
Not me.
But now you are, and you're teaching a hand building class. Tell folks at home how hand building is different than wheel thrown pottery.
Okay. Hand built is everything built by hand. It can be anything from plates to sculpture to bottles. And the difference in that is you roll slabs out and then put them together and create a piece. Where pottery, you actually put the clay on the wheel spins, and you bring the piece up.
Okay, well then talk about the class a little bit. Is this something that anyone can take? Do you have to have any previous pottery experience to take the class?
No, I don't think so. You can start out, we will start with something very simple such as a plate, and then we'll move up to some of the more difficult ones, and I hope to have a project. Each class that they come in will have a project that they can complete in the 2 hours that they're here.
Well, what are some examples of the projects? You already mentioned plate. What else will you be making in the class?
Well, we'll do different sculptures, and these I will have them sketch out what it is they want to make. Anything they want to make, they can sketch it out, and then I will help them draw a pattern for it. And then we will do some bottles, and then if they advance enough toward the end, we'll do a teapot.
So a lot of creativity, but a lot of guidance from you as well during the class.
I like to think so.
So talk about the plates first, and take me step by step through the process of how you would go about making a plate like this one.
Okay, the first thing you would do is start with a piece of clay, and we have a piece of equipment called slab rollers. And so we'll put the clay through that, roll out a fairly thin piece. We'll have to check the measurements because the thickness of it is very, very important. If you get it too thin, it warps. If you get it too thick, it's just way too heavy. But we'll roll that out, and then I have made molds, which I will bring in and show them how to slump a plate inside of a mold that sits on the table.
What do you mean by slump a plate?
If I have the piece of moldings around on the outside and I put the clay on, just spread it over the top, and it's actually on a board on a table. I like to pick up the board and then just drop it, and the clay slumps down into it.
Okay, and then at that point, you have a plate?
Well, you have to let it dry. It's close. It's about, it'll take a slow drying process. You have to be very careful because you want to keep the bottom level, and clay does have a tendency to warp. So there are different techniques that I use that will keep it level and keep the edges straight, and then it'll be bisque fired here. Then they'll choose from their glazes, and this is a combination of 3 glazes, and they'll glaze it and they'll create their own plate. And one of the benefits of hand building is you have really unique pieces, don't you? It is. It's much more creative in my opinion than the wheel thrown pottery. I like to wheel throw, but when I wheel throw, it's a round piece. Well, you can learn more about this class and all of our other pottery programs at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Thank you, Becky. Thank you. That was just one of many exciting arts programs available throughout Roanoke County. Sign up and browse our entire lineup online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Need clay for the class? We've got that covered too. It's all available at the Brambleton Center. And while you're there, you can pick up one of these. It's a new recreation gift card. They're available in any denomination, and they're reloadable so you can use them again and again. Pottery class not for you? How about music? We offer a wide range of programs that teach you how to play, like these new classes. And those were the musical stylings of Earl Henritze. We're excited to have him as one of our new instructors here at the Brambleton Center. And this winter he'll be teaching banjo and Irish fiddle classes with us. Welcome to the program, Earl.
Well, thank you.
Now, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing the banjo close to 50 years now.
Wow, you sound great. Now tell us about the banjo itself. First of all, what kind of an instrument is this? What makes it unique as a bluegrass instrument?
Well, this is a Gibson RB250. I bought it somewhere around 1971. It's a model of that they started making again with the fiddle head on it after they'd made the square head. And it's one of the better ones made after they restarted making
But what about banjos as an instrument? What is unique about the banjo?
Well, the banjo is played, the one I have and the one I teach in class is the bluegrass banjo. Okay. And the bluegrass banjo is played with a bluegrass band, obviously, and it kind of just keeps rolls going and chords going within the songs. And that's kind of what I teach, is how to keep a roll going and how to play with the songs. And I teach much theory of the banjo and how it works and how you can make music out of it.
Now, what you played just now sounds pretty impressive. Is this class for anybody? Do you have to know anything about music to take the class?
No, I can pretty much get you started on most everything. The only thing you need to be able to do is have a dedication and a willingness to learn.
Now, you talked about a little bit of theory behind it. What are some specifics? Are there types of chords or some kind of finger picking techniques that you learn specifically?
There's chords.
Those look like, I guess, what a guitar player would call bar chords. Is that right?
Yeah, and it's a little easier than the guitar. You don't have to contort your hands quite as bad as you do when you play guitar.
Okay.
But it's a little easier to finger, and you can get all the chords on a banjo just by laying your finger across there and going down.
That does seem a lot easier than what I'm used to. I've tried picking up a guitar, I can't get through it.
Yeah, and that's all you have to do to get all the chords, all the major chords, and then you can put your fingers in other positions and do some things with it. But it's not as hard as it looks. It is, but it does take a little practice, and you do have to work on your hand positions and the picking part of it.
That looked a lot more challenging than just playing the chords. Is that something you work up to in the class?
That's the picking part. You can play the Scruggs style, and you can play the melodic style.
What does that mean?
The Scruggs style is Earl Scruggs invented a 3-finger roll that. Okay. And you learn the rolls. I teach the rolls. I teach how to get the right bluegrass sound. There is a sound that bluegrass has that's not, well, I guess it permeates all music, but in bluegrass there is a way that Bill Monroe came up with this bluegrass sound, and it's has to be there. The rhythm has to be there before it to be bluegrass.
And which is one of the unique things about the instrument. You got the rhythm, you've got the picking, and there's a whole lot to learn, but you come out of it at the end of it knowing how to have the basics so you can take it back on your own. And of course, you also teach the fiddle classes. You can find out about all of those online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Really, thank you for interesting, and take us out on some music, Earl. Earlier in the show, we promised to tell you about some new park features in Roanoke County. First, at Garsmell Park, we've added a bridge providing better access to the shelter, trail, and greenway. It's a handicapped accessible bridge that will allow maintenance vehicles to cross the stream without environmental impact. We're even more excited about a new 2/3 mile loop trail at Walren Park. Built entirely by Roanoke County staff, this walkway features a 250-foot raised platform across a wetland, complete with a viewing platform. It's a great way to get out and enjoy nature and stay in shape at the same time. What about your kids? They need to stay in shape too. We've added some new classes at Green Ridge to do just that. Well, here at Green Ridge Recreation Center, one thing we hear from parents a lot is, I'd really like to get my kid involved in some of the physical exercise and activities available here. And that's exactly one of the things that we're adding to here in Winter 2012 program lineup. It's a youth speed and agility class, and the instructor is Mark Ribble. Mark, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Now, this youth speed and agility class, who is it designed for, and what exactly is it?
Well, it's designed for kids from ages 8 to 13, and it's basically, it says an agility class, but it's and it will help with that. It will help with all-around mobility, movement, and just get them more active, and but make exercise fun is also another part of it. They realize they don't have to do the same repetitive things all the time. You know, you don't necessarily have to do push-ups, pull-ups every day, you know. Well, so you can make the activity more fun.
Now, even the name of the class, to me, is a little bit intimidating. When you throw the word agility there, I think, you know, this is physical training to get into athletics. But is that all it is, or can somebody, just average Joe kid off the street, sign up without any experience in sports?
Well, absolutely. It has a foundational purpose, too. I'm going to want to work on balance, stabilization techniques, things like that, to build strength around the joints, to help prevent things like jumper's knee, runner's knee, you know, or a type of tendonitis that you can get. Osgood-Schlatter's, which is the word from I don't know where, but but yeah, I've had personal experience with the joints and things. So because of that, I like the idea of preparing kids when they're in that growth stage to help kind of prevent any kind of joint injury.
Right, and you're not only are you an instructor of this course, you're also a personal trainer here at Green Ridge, and as such, what are you able to tell between training adults and training children?
Well, obviously, you know, children are going to, the sweating is going to be a lot different, and obviously they're not going to be as, you're going to need to keep them more hydrated. You're going to have to watch the heat levels with kids. Obviously, because of the growth spurt process, you want to make sure that they stretch out better, because you know, from personal experience with the Osgood ladders, it's from where I didn't stretch out my quads enough. I did a lot of running, a lot of jumping, but I didn't, you know, nobody had me go say, oh, hey, you need to do this, and to prevent that from happening.
Well, let's get back to the class. Can you demonstrate some of the activities you might have them doing in the program to help their speed and agility?
Yes, actually. One of my backgrounds is in a movement art form called parkour. So some of the movements I'll be using some of the conditioning exercises, because they're, you know, they're fun. Some of them are kind of silly looking, but they're really kind of good for you.
Show me one of them right now.
One of the silly looking ones is what's referred to as a ground Kong, and it's actually a quadrupedi, or, you know, arms and legs type movement, and it's really got a nice little hop and plyo. So you're going to kind of move basically like through hands, feet, and you just kind of get a little bit of a stop, go, and you get some good leg work, you get some good core work.
You do this in the first class?
The idea, no, obviously we will build up to that. But,
build up to it.
But yeah, but it's like I said, it looks silly, but it's extremely fun, and you work everything. And in this day and age where you have kids that are more sedentary and would be rather playing video games, this gives them a fun alternative.
So whether you have a kid at home that is interested in going into sports and wants to help their physical activity that way, or if you have a kid that maybe sits on the couch too much, you want to get them up and active, this is really the course for them, right, Mark?
I think so, yeah.
And you can learn more about it online at RoanokeCountyParks.com, or take a personal training session from Mark Ribble right here at Green Ridge Recreation Center. Especially during this time of year, it's important for your kids' health to keep them active. Swimming is another way to help them keep fit. Visit Green Ridge by daily admission or membership. And for a limited time, take advantage of a new 5 for $25 punch pass to access the pool and other amenities. Ask about it at the front desk next time you visit. We've also expanded our lineup of swim lessons at Green Ridge. Let's go there and check it out. We're here in the Aquatic Center at Green Ridge Recreation Center, and Tanya, this is one of the most unique aquatic facilities in the Roanoke Valley, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We've got water features for the kids, a current river, water slides, and it's all available by daily admission or membership. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. Actually, we're going to focus on some of the wonderful programming that we have during the Winter 2012 program session. And the first thing I want to talk about is a series of new programs called the Youth Aquatics Clinics.
Yes.
This is a bunch of programs. What exactly is involved, and when are they held?
Sure. They're held on Saturdays, and they're from 11:30 to about 12:15 or 12:30, depending on the class. We have several classes. We have snorkeling. We have youth aquatic dance, which emphasizes
aquatic dance. What exactly is aquatic dance?
Aquatic dance is basically learning dance or doing different dance moves in the water. So
is this like synchronized swimming?
Not exactly, because you're getting the benefits of the water, but then you're learning how to do dance as well. So we'll do jazz, we'll do a little hip hop, and so forth.
And these are the same techniques that can be transferred to land dancing, if you will.
Exactly, absolutely, absolutely. And then we also are doing youth water exercise, so it's like a regular water exercise class, but held specifically for the youth. We are doing stroke techniques, so we're working on different strokes specifically for those 45 minutes. We'll do a butterfly backstroke time, and we'll do a breaststroke and freestyle, and that is also kind of to prep them for youth swim teams in the summer.
Now, for the aquatic clinics, especially that last one with the strokes, is there a certain level of swimming ability they have to have coming into the classes?
Yes, they should be able to swim at least the length of the pool and should have some understanding of the basic strokes.
And there any tests beforehand, or you just when you sign up?
Exactly. Basically, they need to be able to sign up. It does say a prerequisite of a level 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, speaking of level 3. Some people might not know what that is. Let's go into swimming lessons now. How early can you sign up your children for swimming lessons here at Green Ridge?
Right now. They are online.
What age?
Oh, we start at 6 months old. We do the parent-taught classes, 6 months up to 36 months, and then we do our toddler classes, which start at about 3 years. Sometimes we have 2.5 that are independent of parents, and that goes till about 5, and then we begin our levels, which start at 6 years old all the way up to 12.
Now, these levels follow the American Red Cross standards for swimming lessons, correct?
Correct.
And what does that mean?
That means that we are certified through the American Red Cross. We are an authorized provider, and we follow their curriculum. So we do different levels. It's a progressive level through each class.
Right. And it's not just kids we do lessons for, adults as well?
Yes, we do adults beginner lessons, and then we also do stroke technique, which is basically to help those adults that know the strokes but want to better for triathlons or maybe just become more proficient.
Now, what makes Green Ridge Recreation Center a really unique and different place to have swimming lessons as opposed to you know, other places around town you might be able to go?
Sure. Well, one is that we always have the river. So we use the river a lot for our baby classes, and the kids are able to swim against the current and use that as kind of a fun portion. We also have our vortex, which we use as well. And then at the end, we do a little reward, and we let the kids go down the slide as well.
And we don't have much time, but I just want to say, mark your calendars for March 17th, Spring Fling Family Fun Night. It's an event that'll be a lot of fun, themed for St. Patrick's Day, and a screening of the movie Yogi Bear on a giant inflatable screen right here at Green Ridge Recreation Center. You can sign up for swim programs or that program online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. There has never been a better time to teach your child about swimming and water safety. Does your child already know how to swim? Why not consider a birthday party at Green Ridge? Call 777-6306 for party rental information. Availability is limited, so call today. Now, we've seen a lot for the kids. Let's take a look now at one of our fastest growing adult programs. It's time to learn how to clog. I'm joined by Natasha Pearson, Director of Dazzle Dance and Modeling Center here in Roanoke, and we're excited to have her as a brand new instructor with Roanoke County Parks. This winter, she's teaching a clogging program. First, I want to ask you, Natasha, what exactly is clogging?
Clogging, it's similar to tap dancing, because of course the shoes that we have do have taps on the bottom. However, they have a jingle tap on them, and so it makes a lot more noise. And of course we do dance to the traditional country music, and we also have a lot of influences for like update hip hop and jazz, and then also we do some square dancing. So it's a big variety for what we do here in the clogging program with Dazzle Dance.
This is really a growing movement throughout the country. As we were talking about before this interview, you may have seen clogging on such shows as America's Got Talent?
Yes, America's Got Talent in 2009 was in the top finalists. There was a group of 4 young men. They were amazing, and they made it to the finalists, and they were quite popular. So when you think of clogging, you can even go on YouTube and look them up and see some of the current clogging trends. It's across the nation.
And I've seen some of those clips on YouTube. Some really impressive footwork that you can see there. But this class starts out with the basics, correct?
Yes, it does. Someone has never even taken dance before. I tell a lot of my dancers, if you can count, you can dance, and it's just a matter of coming out. We start out with the very basics, and once you learn the basics of clogging, then it'll just build on there. So you don't think someone says, oh, you know, I have 2 left feet. Still come out, take the class, because it's very basic elements. I have students as young as 6 that are dancing and doing very, very well.
So really, any age, any kind of physical limitations, abilities that you have to have for the class?
If you can walk. If you can walk and count.
So you got to walk, you got to count. That's all you really have to be able to do.
That's pretty much it. Be able to, you know, if you like music, if you've ever caught yourself just listening to music, kind of tapping along, then you've probably got an inclination. You probably do pretty well in a pair of clogging shoes.
And you'll impress your friends when you're finished with it. Tell us just really quickly about your studio if they want more information. Maybe they're not necessarily just interested in clogging. There's a lot more that you do there.
That's right. And we've just opened up the Dazzle Dance and Modeling Center. It is located in the Red Barn Mall in West End, Salem. If you want to contact me directly to ask me any questions about clogging, the courses that we offer, and the shoes and attire, I can be reached at 556-6 556. And again, it's me, Natasha, and just contact me there. And we are focusing on clogging right now, and we also have some upcoming etiquette and modeling classes.
A whole lot of options. You could sign up through your studio, and of course, we'd encourage you to look at RoanokeCountyParks.com and see the wonderful classes that we offer as well. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Found something you like yet? Mark your calendar and register online at www.RoanokeCountyParks.com. Here's another exciting event to put on your calendar. Tons of Fun is coming back to Tanglewood Mall for the 13th year this February, and the event is bigger and better than ever. We're here at Tanglewood Mall, where on February 4th, you're going to witness the largest event ever held at this facility, and it is Tons of Fun, now in its 13th year. Wendy, to tell us about it, Wendy Schultz, what should we expect here on February 4th?
You will be absolutely amazed at how we transform the mall. For instance, last year we had 60 different organizations, businesses, and individuals putting on 75 different performances, activities, rides, you name it. They were out here doing it, and it was all free for the kids.
Wow, completely free. And what are some of the organizations that you might see out here?
Certainly. Well, of course, Roanoke County Parks, Rec, and Tourism will be here in full force.
I will be here.
Absolutely. We also have the Roanoke Ballet. We have the Symphony that comes out. We also have a variety of different businesses. We have chiropractors that come out. But I think what makes it so interesting is that all the folks that come out have an activity or a craft project for the kids to get involved in.
Now, it's designed for children ages 12 and under and their families, right? But anybody's going to really enjoy this.
Anyone that comes out is going to have a fabulous day.
Okay, there are also some performances throughout the day if you come out to Tanglewood Mall. What might you expect?
Well, you might expect to see a fellow named the Horse Guy, who was absolutely the Horse Guy. He is absolutely, Scott, hilarious. His antics. He actually begins to look like a real horse throughout his whole performance. He's hilarious.
The man looks like, what is he wearing, a horse suit?
Oh, you'll
the
have
head
to
or the
come
tail?
out and see. No, both. You'll see. You'll have to come out and witness it for
something
yourself.
You have to see for you. What else would you expect to see
here
at Tanglewood Mall?
We have magicians. And one of the things we're adding this year as well is going to be things like a lasso demonstration.
Really?
Plus, yes, the kids can learn actually how they could rope their own calf.
That sounds exciting.
Yes.
Wow.
So a lot of interactive things, also some rides. We'll have some big bouncy kind of things and slides for the kids to participate in. Of course, the ever famous face painting and balloon sculpting. It's just a day of utter fun.
Completely fun. Now, you've already mentioned some new performances that will be coming. How about some new activities that you might see this year?
Okay, well, we have a very special one, which is my personal favorite, called Bubblegum Buddies, where you can actually make friends to take home out of bubblegum.
Wow.
Yes, we're also going to have some other folks out here doing a variety of things that you're going to be surprised to see, so I'm not going to go into them.
Can't wait to be surprised out here. Now, really, it's a free event. Everyone needs to know that, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. here at Tanglewood Mall on February 4th. And when you think about it, there's really not that much you can do for free anymore.
I know, but this is the one thing where you can come out, spend the whole day, enjoy yourself. Now, we will have a food vendor or two, so if you really don't want to bring your own, you can certainly purchase that. But it's a whole day of fun that is completely free, plus you might even learn something.
And not only the fun activities, but informative as well. You might learn about some of the programs and services throughout the Roanoke Valley that you may never have heard of before.
Right, like for instance, the Roanoke Ballet will actually give mini dance lessons as well as giving a performance. So you'll actually be able to participate in some things you otherwise wouldn't have the opportunity to do.
Sounds like a lot of fun. We hope to see you out here too on February 4th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. right here at Tanglewood Mall. Thanks, Wendy. We've seen a lot on today's program, exciting activities both indoors and out. Be sure to check out our newest park additions like the 2/3 mile loop trail at Walren Park. Believe it or not, spring is just around the corner. Look for our summer camp program guide in February at all rec centers. Speaking of which, Camp Roanoke is already open for summer registration. New at camp this year is a special environmental sustainability workstation put together in conjunction with Virginia Western Community College. Visiting classes and campers can learn about new green technology. Call 387-6114 to schedule your trip. Have you seen anything on the show that you're interested in? Well, I encourage you to sign up today. Visit RoanokeCountyParks.com or call 772-PLAY, that's 772-7529, to register for your favorite class. Thanks for watching. See us 3 times a week on Roanoke Valley Television or view us online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Until next time, I'll see you in the parks.